What's poppin'?
This
Welcome
is
back to
Maxify Seminar, and welcome back to What is Marvel Doing?
Yes, today it's part 2 of What is Marvel Doing.
So we did a video a couple of weeks ago where we went over what in the world is Marvel Studios, the MCU, whatever you want to call it. What are they doing?
Yeah.
And today we're doing the follow-up, now that Hawkeye has released.
And Spiderman No Way Home has released.
That's right. And we've seen both of them, and we're ready to go.
Yes.
So we're going to do a very similar thing. Instead of doing a formal review on both of these movies, or either of them, we're just going to kind of talk through what we thought about each one.
Also, I'm completely caught up now on Marvel. I've seen Incredible Hulk. Okay, so,
starting off with Spider-Man No Way Home. So we saw this in theaters a couple days after it came out. And so first of all, let's just say spoilers, all right? We're not going to talk about spoilers. So here's the rule for that. Anything that you would know if you've seen the trailer is fair game. We're going to talk about stuff that is in the trailer. So if you want to go into this movie knowing absolutely nothing about it, go ahead and click off the video and go see the movie and then come back. But if not...
Or just watch the trailer. So, this is the third movie in the new Tom Holland Spider-Man series.
Yes, in John Watts' trilogy. He has directed each of these. This will be the first trilogy completed in the MCU all by one director. And I think this is the best one. And not only that...
I really think the ending's a grand finale. It's probably one of my favorite Spider-Man movies all time.
And we talked about this. We think this could easily be the best Spider-Man movie, including every Spider-Man movie, including the Sam Raimi movies, including the ones with Andrew Garfield, and including the recent ones. I think the only thing that could possibly rival this is Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. But even still, the stuff that they brought to life here in live action was just incredible, and I never thought I would see a lot of the stuff that happened in this movie.
Okay, so one thing that Eternals and she struggled with a little bit was CG. But not because it was bad, but because it was overused or just used in wrong situations. But this Spider-Man movie used CGI in probably the best way I've seen it done. Like, the CGI was so good in this movie.
The de-aging. The de-aging was incredible. It was the best. I think that was the best de-aging I've seen. Probably the most recent de-aging. So, obviously, that would make it, hopefully, you would hope, the best coming out of a multi-billion-dollar studio.
Yeah.
But, wow, the de-aging in this film is incredible. Like, it's seamless.
Can we talk about Electro?
We have to talk about Electro.
Or are you gonna have to bleep that out?
No, Electro's in, I think he's in one of the trailers, so fingers crossed. Electro's in this movie. Jamie Foxx plays Electro, and boy, is this a comeback role. He's no longer that weird, like, caricature nerd with the gap in his teeth and the bald head with the comb over and everything.
This is, like, so good. This is another one where the CG is just, like, so good. It's, like, obviously, you can't make Electro without CGI, but it's just, they did it really well.
But we have to also talk about Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus, because this is a character that was maybe one of my favorite characters from the original Raimi trilogy, and I never thought we'd see him again.
No, I did not expect to see... This was kind of... When I saw him in the trailer and the first time I saw the movie, it was like... First of all, it was like, I was like, dang, why is this guy was in not these Spider-Man movies. Second, I was like, holy cow, this guy's, it's been like 20 years and he still looks the same. So that's for sure de-aging. And I was just kind of blown away by that.
And he's a great character, and he has a lot of time to shine in this movie as both sides of the character, as both the octopus character and the normal scientist guy. And on that same strain of thought, Willem Dafoe is also in this movie. I don't think that's any secret. The Goblin is shown in the trailer. It is Willem Dafoe returning again, and that's just incredible to see. And they did it so much better this time because the mask isn't on him.
Yes. So, that's not really a spoiler. It's not in the trailer, but he does get rid of the mask, and his costume just becomes so much better. Ah.
Because the real Goblin face is revealed.
Yeah,
underneath
the
fake
DeVoe
Goblin
face.
Defoe face.
William Dafoe.
Like, the way they did this movie was, like, it's like a mix between how they did all the other Spider-Man movies. Like, the story was almost, like, on par with, like, the, like, Sam Raimi ones. It was kind of like that. But then also...
You know what it felt like? It felt like more than just the climax of this trilogy. It felt like all of the Spider-Man properties from the past came together. And
yeah, it was like all of the Spider-Man, but plus MCU.
It's like the ending of Spider-Man 3, the Sam Raimi one, where there's all these villains coming together. Didn't really work, but here it works really well.
Boy.
It's just handled a lot better.
Yeah, so basically, after credits scene. So, can I go to that now, or should we stick with the movie?
We can't talk about the after credits scene.
No, I'm just gonna say it's very good.
It is very good.
So, Hawkeye. This show introduced just a ton of things here, okay? Basically, one thing that made me very excited about the show is seeing Hawkeye 2, Kate Bishop in action, because I was kind of wondering when that was going to happen.
Yeah, we were talking about this even with the beginning of Endgame, where we saw Clint Hawkeye training his daughter. We were thinking, are they going to change this? Is it not going to be Kate Bishop? Is it going to be Clint's daughter or something? And so we had this idea of Hawkeye 2 coming into this universe very early, and it's been kind of marinating, and then finally we get this series, and it's realized very well. Haley Steinfeld is very good, but also Jeremy Renner.
Yes, I was very interested and excited to see some of Hawkeye's skills come out, because in the movies, he's kind of just a side character. I mean, he's the same as anyone else in Avengers, but he's like the real only one that's not had their own movie or show.
But he's also, and the other thing that makes him so special is he's like the only character that's really a human character.
Yeah.
And that's what this show is about in large part, is about the most human Avenger. And I think that was a cool angle they took for this show. But I'm not sure if it was explored quite as much as I wanted it to. Because I felt like there was a lot going on with, we have this storyline about Clint and like what he wants to be doing. And he's like reconciling the whole thing he did with the Ronin costume. And then you also have this new character of Kate Bishop entering the picture.
And you're all dealing with this during Christmas time.
Yeah, it's a lot in 6 episodes. But because it's 6 episodes and because there's so much, I think this has maybe the best pace of any of the Disney Plus Marvel shows so far. There was never an episode that felt like a filler episode in this one.
Okay, so basically, there's one thing that they put in the trailer. I don't know why, but we can.
I don't know if we want to talk about it, but the villain of this series, which was built up as this huge mystery throughout, ended up getting revealed in trailers. We saw a trailer, or like I don't know, like a TV spot or something, the day after that revealed the big reveal. And so I don't know what the marketing team was thinking on that front, but
I mean, basically, the only thing is that Marvel is reaching out and grabbing everything they
stuff
can.
We didn't think was going to be coming in has come in, and this comes into play with Spider-Man as well. But the implications on this are huge. It means we're going to see expansion in this universe.
Yeah.
More than we thought. And I think with Doctor Strange and going forward, that's just going to amplify. Yeah.
Plus, Max and I have talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it in the Eternals video. But that whole idea of that is basically talking about mutants. I mean, it's getting there. So they're also trying to sort of ease into that, I think. So it seems like the MCU is about to become a whole lot bigger.
You know what I also think is, so there was a part in Hawkeye where he was showing off his skills with, like, he could throw a thing and hit exact shots with, like, a bottle cap. That, to me, is kind of like a sign, because I think there's some kind of thing in the comics where Hawkeye is like a mutant or partially a mutant, or it's hinted that maybe he is, and that his skill is like partially just born with talent.
Yeah.
And so having that part of it in the show could be leading into that. So I don't know. I think definitely that is coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if you could imagine a Marvel character, and it seems like the MCU is trying to make that happen right now. It's like, they're just so expanding so fast right now. It's crazy.
They really are. And Doctor Strange is going to be here before we know it.
So, on that note, an introduction of an introduction of
yes, an introduction of a very good character in this.
Yes, Tony Dalton.
Tony Dalton plays a character in this show.
Yes, very good.
Great casting.
And
that must be said. Hawkeye overall, I think maybe a top 3 for
that's
Marvel
what
Disney Plus shows.
Maybe even top 2. I think.
I don't think it has the number 1 spot, but I think it could easily. I think number 1 for me is still going to be WandaVision, or maybe Loki. I don't know. I haven't thought too hard about it, but
I mean, I think another plus of this being a show is that it's a show. This is so good as a show. It's like, just like, imagine trying to cram this much into a movie, and it wouldn't work. So
I think so.
It's just, that's another reason I'm putting it so high up there. Because,
and we finally got to spend some good quality time with this character too.
Yeah.
That Jeremy Renner, you can tell, is very passionate about, and it was just good to see Jeremy Renner in this role in a place where he could really work with it. There were some great fight scenes, stuff that made me like really think, okay, this is actually really cool. Like, this is exactly why they cast Jeremy Renner in this role, is for this physicality that he brings to it. It's very Jason Bourne-esque at times, and who better to do that than the guy who tried to replace Jason Bourne?
Yeah, I just think the casting on the show was pretty much
spotless.
phenomenal. And like the lady
Vera
from
Farmiga is in this too.
Yeah,
the lady from The Conjuring.
Yeah,
she's in it, and another great casting choice. She might have more to do in the future. I don't know, but
I mean, pretty much everyone in the show, you're not like, that's wrong.
Yeah, it was really perfect.
Everyone,
casting.
you're like, that's who that is, and it fits. Which is ultimately what you want.
So overall, the last 2 things that Marvel has produced have pretty much blown us away compared to the 2 things before that. Eternals and Shang-Chi were a little bit downward, and then the trajectory is upsloped.
Yeah, it kind of went like that, but it's like sprouting up.
It is, and it's building to a huge point. With that Doctor Strange movie is, like, I think we talked about a lot in our last video on the topic.
That's gonna be like, if you could call the MCU a series, that's gonna be the climax of the series.
After the implications of these 2 things we've talked about today, and going into a multiverse thing that's going to carry on stuff from WandaVision, and carry on Doctor Strange stuff, and carry on stuff from What If, and all the series are culminating, and it's directed by Sam Raimi.
Oh boy. Yeah. We're gonna have...
It's gonna be crazy.
But what are they gonna do after that? That's the only question. I guess we'll update you then.
I don't know. There's still Kang stuff happening. There could be, I don't know. They have Sony, so it's time to bring in Ghost Rider.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about kind of a spoiler, kind of not. Like I talked about earlier, we were gonna loop back around to talk about one of the post-credit scenes of Spider-Man No Way Home, and this is kind of not a spoiler anymore because this trailer was uploaded to the official Marvel YouTube channel, and this is the trailer for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, the new one.
Yes.
Basically...
Holy cow, there's a lot in this trailer. Wow.
So one thing that caught me off guard with this trailer is the WandaVision is in it. And it just, out of nowhere, I was like, oh boy, things are about to get heated.
Mordo is also in this trailer. I've been waiting on the edge of my seat for Mordo to come back since that after credit scene in original Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is in it.
Obviously.
There's so much happening. in this trailer. Like, seeing this in the theater after watching through 2.5 hours of Spider-Man.
It was
and
just
then seeing this,
mind-blowing.
oh my god. Like, things are on screen for like 5 frames in this trailer, and it's like all hitting you at once. There's stuff maybe from What If. There's stuff maybe coming in from alternate universes.
I don't even remember it. There's so much stuff in the trailer. It's crazy. But
just all the more reason to get excited.
there's stuff
for this.
from Loki. It's crazy. So that's gonna be a big deal. I think it's gonna be the culmination of all of the, like every Marvel property, or every MCU movie.
It's gonna
and
be even
show
more
and-
than the MCU though.
I guess you're right. I just, like, all the series definitely are gonna get thrown into this, I think.
All of the series.
Oh, boy, yeah. It's gonna be big. So, yeah, when that comes out, we're gonna be definitely seeing that.
Yes, you're gonna see part 3 of this video, like, very soon after that comes out.
Probably, like, a day after. I don't know. We're gonna be really excited to do that seminar because it's like just
It seems like a real tipping point. It seems like another kind of Infinity War-esque.
we're gonna see the full range of Doctor Strange's powers and how he can do things, and he might be able to screw things up. We'll just see.
And until then, I've been Max.
I've been Blake.
This.
Has been Maxify Brothers.
And we'll see you in the next one.